welcome back. So last episode I talked about my breast cancer diagnosis and having to leave the small community in the Kimberley that my family and I were working and living in. Shortly after diagnosis, I was introduced to the mother ayahuasca, which opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities. And in an interesting turn of events, I accepted an offer to go to a healing centre in Peru. So this episode is all about me saying goodbye to my family and my experience in Peru.
Alright, so I'm at the Sydney airport. I flew in from Perth last night and I am flying today to Santiago in Chile via Auckland, New Zealand, and then when I get to Chile I get on another flight and I go to Lima in Peru. I feel a bit of guilt leaving the kids behind and Guy behind, but not feeling too upset about that at this point. I guess it hasn't really sunk in. I'm just thinking really logically and rationally about the whole thing, and feeling really grateful that I have the opportunity that I can just go somewhere and focus 100% of my time on myself. Very grateful that I can do this, because as much as I was already on my healing journey back in Perth, there's a lot of distractions with young kids and family and just domestic duties and just normal life stuff, where going overseas on my own is really going to help me channel into just 100% focusing on what I need to do to get myself well. So yeah, feeling incredibly grateful, not too nervous. I was nervous in the days leading up to leaving the airport, but feeling pretty good now. Just really crossing my fingers and toes that all these connecting flights have no delays, and I don't miss any flights and I get there as scheduled. That's my big go-to at the moment, channeling everything going smoothly.
The next morning I left Lima and boarded another flight. This was my 5th flight in 24 hours, and I flew 2 hours to Tarapoto. It was pretty funny being in the airport. I stood out like a sore thumb, not just because I was a gringo, but because I was pretty tall and just towered over everyone. But the scenery over the Andes Mountains on the flight to Tarapoto was really cool. Once I arrived in Tarapoto, I had a taxi driver waiting for me, which was lucky because I spoke no Spanish, he spoke no English, but he knew he was taking me to Dos Mundos, which is the healing centre. It was a 3-hour taxi drive through the mountains to get to Dos Mundos, enough time for me to really enjoy the scenery and also think, what the hell am I doing? After arriving at the healing centre, the first thing I noticed was all the animals. So there was cows, chickens, roosters, peacocks, macaws, horses, dogs, puppies, cats, kittens. It was a proper farm and I love animals, so that was really nice getting to know the locals. Each morning I would get up and go for a walk on the property. I was really lucky that I got to see this gorgeous little foal who had just been born. You can still see the blood on the back of the mum's legs. And the foal was learning how to walk, and yeah, really cool experience.
Hello and welcome to Dos Mundos, Two Worlds, in Peru. Actually been here for 2 weeks now. This is my first video. I just went for a swim in this lovely lake. Yeah, what to say, where to start? It's been a pretty intense 2 weeks. I've been taking ayahuasca every second day. Well, I did for the first 4 days with a day off in between. And then I had 2 days rest before I did the next one. So I've done 5 ayahuasca ceremonies so far in 2 weeks. Basically, you drink the ayahuasca. We have a ceremony at 7 o'clock in the morning. We drink the ayahuasca and we wait about half an hour for it to come into effect. And then once you start feeling the effect, you start getting a bit nauseous. And then we're encouraged to drink bowls of warm water and like basically scull the water to induce vomiting, which I have been doing and vomiting a lot, going to the toilet, diarrhea a lot, and the nausea has just been debilitating. It's so intense. Your body starts sweating profusely. I started shaking. My right arm particularly was just like shaking. Yeah, it's so intense, so strong. Each time I've done it, it has gotten a little bit easier, particularly the last time somebody really recommended to really like scull a lot of water, like 4 or 5 bowls of water at the start, and that actually was good advice because I did like a big power spew, and then the nausea went away and eased and I was able to relax a bit before the next wave would come. Where previous to that it's just been nauseous the entire time, no rest. So yeah, it's been pretty intense. The days off in between I've just been resting and eating more food because obviously I don't eat any food while I'm having ayahuasca. So just keeping up my fluids, keeping up my nutrition. The food here is amazing. The people are really lovely. I'm the only one, I think, in the whole centre that is English as a first language speaking person. Mostly Peruvian, most people speak Spanish. And there's lots of Russian and Ukrainians here. So a lot of people speak Russian. So yeah, it's an odd mix of people that I wouldn't usually be interacting with. I was an eagle come through. Not an eagle, but a bird of some sort. Yeah, it's a very interesting experience so far. We had a storm come through about 4 days ago now, big storm, thunder, lightning, and lost power, lost water. The Wi-Fi router blew up, one of the water pumps blew up, so we've been on really big rationing for water, which has been fun. Had to walk over to a spot to fill up a bucket with water so that we can flush our toilets. No shower, no you have to walk in and we get drinking water, and they make sure that the kitchen's supplied with water, but we haven't been able to do laundry. When the water is turned off on our houses, we quickly have a shower so we can at least get clean. It's not ideal. It's not certainly not retreat quality services here. It's very basic. When everything's working, it's very comfortable and very nice. It's just when things go wrong that it's this is not very hygienic and not very fun. It's just something I got to suck up and deal with for the next few days. Hopefully they get someone in to fix the water pump soon so I can do my washing. Physically, I recover really quickly from my ayahuasca. I'm pretty much fine the next day. I'm in good spirits. Certainly haven't had any enlightening moments or anything like that. It's just been purely physical. But I can feel the medicine working through my body, and it's just picking things up around my body, and then it basically feels like it's putting it to my stomach, and then I vomit it up, or it comes out the bottom end. So I guess that's how the medicine works. And I'm just really focusing on the importance of my thoughts and how I need to have a strong mind and keep positive thoughts and trust and surrender to the process, and don't resist and fight. When I resist, my body tenses up and it seems to make it worse. So I've got to really focus on just relaxing and trusting, and then the symptoms kind of seem to ease and it's a little bit more manageable. So power of the mind is a big one here. I've been here for 2 weeks and I'm waiting to see the Master Pepe. He is the main healer here, and I do a consultation with him. He does a diagnosis on me, he does an alignment on me, and then he recommends what diet is for me to do. So I'm just waiting for that. Hopefully that'll happen in the next few days, or at least within the next week. I know I shouldn't be impatient, but I kind of am very interested to see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be my 6th ayahuasca tomorrow, so I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully a little bit more pleasant than the last 5 that have been brutally pretty horrible. All right, talk soon.
Outside of doing ayahuasca, I was able to participate in almost daily yoga. We had a group meditation once a week, which was basically a Q&A session with the Maestro Pepe. And there was also dance meditation and Tai Chi if you got up early enough, which I didn't, as well as getting to know the locals.
Okay, so I had my 6th ayahuasca ceremony this morning at 7 o'clock. It was a much more pleasant experience, completely different to all 5 other experiences. I still vomited about 4 times, went to the toilet a couple of times, which might sound a bit horrible, but compared to the other ceremonies. That was fine. So maybe about an hour of feeling uncomfortable and vomiting. And then after that, my whole body just relaxed into kind of like a meditative state. It was just like really blissful, relaxing and peaceful. Felt like my whole nervous system was getting like a reset, and calm was just like washing over my whole body. I had some shaking and some releases coming out, but very mild and manageable, not too much sweating this time. Just completely different. It only lasted about 2.5 hours, I reckon, and I was actually pretty good after that. So I think I stayed about 3 hours, and then I left and came back to my room and ate some fruit. I made it to lunch, which usually I'd be in bed till mid-afternoon, close to the evening. So recovered a lot more quicker.
After sitting with the Mother Aya 9 times, the maestro finally signed me off to start my first dieta. So once I'm on dieta, I'm not allowed to leave the healing centre. There's lots of strict rules. So I took the opportunity to take a tuk-tuk into the local town about 20 minutes away. One of the lovely gentlemen from the healing centre took me under his wing and took me for a bit of a tour and took me to the markets and had some beautiful food. It was really nice to actually see a bit of the countryside and a bit of the local culture, as up until then I had only just been to the healing centre and nowhere else. Upon arriving back to Dos Mundos, sadly there was a poor cow that was a little bit worse for wear, and the local farmers built a shade around it trying to get the cow back upright and good again. But the next day I walked past and the cow was gone, the structure was gone, and before I knew it, there she was, getting butchered up. So obviously they weren't too suspicious about the circumstances of its death, as they were planning to eat it.
Okay, hello. Today is Sunday the 22nd of September 2024, and today I started my first dieta. It's called Ohe. I had to get up early and we did ceremony at 4 a.m. this morning, so it was dark. And we had to drink a bowl of ohe, which is like a milky sap from a tree called ohe. It was pretty gross. Basically, you have to drink a whole bowl and then keep it down for an hour. So for an hour, you're just walking around the grounds. And then you come back and you have to basically vomit it all back up again, go to the toilet, let it all out, and then the effects last for a week. So there's lots of strict rules that we have to follow. With our diet, we have to go to a special window in the kitchen, and breakfast, lunch and dinner is the same meal each time. It's just quinoa and a cooked banana and a bit of vegetable that I don't know what it is, and a bit of
milky, or like a cup of rice with some water. Very basic. We have to wear long pants, long top, socks, shoes, and an umbrella when we're outside. Whether it's nighttime or daytime, we have to wear an umbrella to protect us from the elements, because our body's energy systems are really sensitive. So when I'm on diet, I have to eat separately from people that are not on diet. And yeah, lots of rules associated with food. I'm not allowed to shower for the first 3 days. I'm not allowed any creams or lotions or perfumes or anything on my skin. Yeah, a few other rules that we have to follow. Not allowed to be sexually active. Obviously no drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Just kind of got to face the boredom. A lot of the time I'm just sitting in my room, trying to let the medicine do its thing in my body. So my plan is to do 1 week on OHA, then I do it on the 8th day, I do ayahuasca, and then I go straight into my second dieta, which is Uchu's something or other, 2 different plants, and that one goes for 2 weeks. I'm just going to see how I'm feeling, whether I do the full 2 weeks or whether I cut short by a few days, after which point I'm going to start heading home. So I'm happy. I've done almost a month here now. It's been almost 4 weeks, and my goal was to do 2 months. So this diet and the next diet will bring me pretty much close to a month, which will be my 2-month goal of being here. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so this is day 1 of my second dieta, which is all this good stuff in here. Bon appetit!
Throughout my dieta, I was advised to hold on to all the bark and leftover bits and pieces from the plant. And at the end of the dieta, I was to plant it or bury it under a tree or a plant of my choice. So giving it back to the earth and being grateful for what it has provided me with. Hello. So today is my last day at Dos Mundos. I have been here for 7 weeks. I haven't done a lot of filming while I've been here. I've kind of just, I didn't really feel like verbalizing what I was going through. I was more internalizing what was going on. It's been a wild experience. It's funny, it's felt like I had been here for so long, and I'm very homesick and missing the kids, and
missing Guy and family and really ready to come home. And now the day's coming tomorrow. It's funny, now it feels like I've only just got here and it's gone really fast. So yeah, it felt like a long time during, but now I'm at the end of it. It hasn't felt like it's gone for too long. But yeah, 7 weeks, 2 diets, Ahe and Uchu and Aho. I'm feeling really good about what I've achieved here. We had meditation today and I asked the maestro about my next step, how I'm leaving Dos Mundos and I'm going to continue my treatment back in Australia, natural healing. I'm very grateful that I can actually take some things back with me from here to continue on with this process, which I'm really grateful for. And I asked him basically whether I should consider surgery as an option, because that's something that's still very much weighing on my shoulders as an option, and whether or not to do it or not. And whether he thinks that's something that is worth considering as an, integrative strategy. And he basically told me that the work that I've done in the last 7 weeks here was the hardest part done. So that was relieving, because it was hard. And he said if I maintain everything that I've learnt, and I'm disciplined, and I continue the process, and I maintain my high vibration, and don't get caught into low vibration, like low vibration things like fear and blame and guilt and negative energies. If I can maintain positive energies and high vibration, then there's no reason why I shouldn't heal. So I wouldn't need surgery. However, he did say that if I find that I'm falling in a slump and I'm in low vibration and I am struggling with negative energies, then probably surgery would be a good option, and then continue on with the plants and process on top of that afterwards. I guess it all just depends on me and my process as I continue. When I got here, I had all these expectations of what I wanted to get out of it. Not just physically, but emotionally, suppressed emotions, releasing childhood trauma, all these things that I had researched as being potential problems causing cancer. But during the process, that didn't really present itself or seem important so much. It was more just surrendering to the plants and letting them work their magic in my body, and I could feel the stress in my body just being released, and calm just coming over my body, and just I feel much more connected to my body. And I guess I've always treated my body as a bit of a machine, and just I've been pretty tough on it and treated it pretty rough over the years, thinking it can handle it. And I've learned that no, I actually need to be more gentle on my body and look after my body and listen to my body and connect with my body. So it's been a really good learning curve, and emotionally, like just being more present on my thoughts and what's going on in my mind. I don't think I was really present with the amount of negative energies I was holding on to in my mind, so I kind of got fresh perspectives on that. So that's going to be really positive, and I guess that's a big part of integration, trying to learn from the new perspectives that I have and integrate that now into my life moving forward. Don't just get home and fall into old habits. And I guess another big takeaway was the blame. Like, I think I was trying to figure out what have I done wrong to cause this cancer, because obviously my body's created it, but that's not a like a good way of looking at things, like what have I done wrong and blaming myself. That's negative energy. So it's all about moving forward and being positive and not getting caught up in the reasons of why and all of the, you know, the causes. It's not as important as just moving forward and thinking of the whole process of being grateful for it, saying thank you. I have now got to, you know, check in with my body and look after it, and move forward positively. So yeah, it's really hard to put in words. I'm not very good with words and describing things with the whole experience, but yeah, it's had a profound impact on me, and I hope my family and my friends notice a positive change in me, because I definitely feel a positive change, and I hope I can integrate it back in Australia. Very, very grateful for this experience here. Like, it's like a little utopian world here. It really is. I'd love to be able to like create something like this back in Australia to help people and just show there's a different way that you can live your life, and life being simple is so much better than all the noise that we're so used to in Western culture. Yeah, being here and being stripped back of all the noise back at home really makes you grounded and present with what's important in life, and grateful for simple things. Yeah, I had broccoli for the first time in like a month, or maybe 3 weeks, not a month. But I've been having the same food every day, and the broccoli was the best thing ever today. I was like, such a simple thing, broccoli, but the amount of gratitude I had for this broccoli. I was just like eating it and chewing each one for so long, and I was so happy to have some vegetables back in my system. And now I'm going to start, feeding my body with some really nutritious food and feel the benefits. Very happy, very grateful. Still got my brolly on to protect me from the elements, but I'm on post-diet now, so I've just got to ease my way back into a full diet, slowly adding more food and slowly exposing myself to the elements. But yeah, my final day here at Dos Mundos. I will definitely miss this place. It is such a special place in the world. If you feel the call to come here, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. The amount of stories that you hear coming out of this place and the success that they have, treating all sorts of ailments, mental, physical, it's just really magical. Yeah. So thank you, Dos Mundos. From the bottom of my heart, eternally grateful. Thank you.
So my time at Dos Mundos had come to an end. I was able to complete 2 of the 7 prescribed dietas. So there was a little bit of disappointment that I wasn't able to finish the entire protocol there, but home was calling and I was missing my kids and family a lot, so it was my time to go. I was able to spend a couple of days in Lima just before I left, which was nice to have a little bit of a kind of holiday before I did the big voyage back home.
Just walking through the streets of Peru, sporting my new haircut.
Next episode, we'll look into whether or not the treatment I did in Peru actually had a measurable impact or not, and yeah, a bit of my story of what I do when I get back to Perth and what kind of protocols I continue on with. Thanks for watching.